Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Let's say you have an organization where it's structured based on a hierarchical organization, which is you got some kind of chain of command, which is the guy in charge, and then if he barks orders down the chain of command, they have to follow it and bark down, and then the bottom, like the military. Now let's say you have the commander-in-chief, let's say Zaluzhny in Ukraine, and you want to get rid of this guy. He's got the guns, he's got the people surrounding him, he's a general, he's got generals next to him, the generals have the colonels have the majors, captains, and so on. Correct? Correct, or captains, majors. Anyway, so here it is. You want to get rid of Zaluzhny. I think that's exactly what's going on over here. Or incapacitate him. First, they gave him a sign, I think, with that assistant that played with a grenade. Oh, what is this? Boom. Okay? I thought that was a sign. It was a message sent to Zaluzhny. But next move, what would you do? I think if you can't get to Zaluzhny because of the guys that surround him, let's say they're very loyal, you replace them with people that are loyal to you. And especially when you have the power. Who has the power? The Defense Minister of Ukraine. And the Defense Minister of Ukraine is at whose orders? Zelensky. So Zelensky, through the Defense Minister of Ukraine, removes some generals around Zaluzhny. Why? Because those guys will be like Trump. Or be like Biden. He's got the secret services around him, protecting him, but he's not ordering them. They answer to someone else's orders. Chain of command. So if this secret service in the White House receive an order to protect the president by removing the target, I want to call it, I can't remember right now the exact term, and removing and protecting him, they're going to pick up the president, getting in a van or maybe underneath, go somewhere else, and they're going to hide the subject. And nobody will know where the subject is. The Secret Service will not ask, hey, are you sure? Can you prove to me that I'm supposed to do that? No, he's just going to follow orders. Machine. So the same here, my friends. When time comes, if those generals, suppose they have two articles here, if those guys succeed in, those guys being the defense minister who was appointed by Zelensky, if those guys succeed in removing those generals for poor performance, that means Ukraine is getting then they're going to put around him some generals that will not probably follow Zaluzhny's orders. Then will happen the same thing that happened to, in my assessment, with Trump. Trump was in charge of nobody, of himself. That's when he was a president. He could bark orders to the secretaries of departments, and they would say, yes, sir, yes, president will do that. And nobody did. And then he fired them, hired others, and then the same thing. Why? Because of the bureaucracy. And even if you hire someone, let's say the Secretary of Defense, and the Secretary of Defense, again, has another tier of people underneath. If those guys don't follow the orders, the directives of the defense minister, again, the order stops there, doesn't get implemented. So the same here, Zaluzhny can bark orders to his generals. If those are not his generals, he can bark whatever, and he can be picked up and then hidden for safekeeping. So let me show you the articles here. One is coming from the Kiev Independent. Media, Defense Ministry considering dismissing of 3 commanders. Here is the guy who is in charge of dismissing the commanders, and this guy is a Tatar from Crimean Peninsula. And this guy was appointed by Zelensky, not by Zaluzhny. And this guy has more power, potentially. He and what's his name, Zelensky, which I think Zelensky, they can fire Zaluzhny whenever they want. But if Zaluzhny doesn't want to get fired and said, yeah, you can fire me, but come and get me, nobody's going to come and pick him up and get him. Unless you got the guys underneath you with his people that will get you. or Zelensky is preparing a retreat when we're gonna have a civil war in Ukraine, which is already on. Not like that yet. It's like this right now, with grenades and removals. At this point, I think these guys are trying to encircle Zaluzhny, have him non-operational, and then eventually he's going to go by himself. He's going to get into an accident or something, or maybe he's going to have a heart attack or a mini stroke, something along that line. So let's see what these guys are saying. The Defense Ministry, I got another article as well, is considering potential dismissal of 3 commanders within Ukraine's armed forces, Ukraine media outlet reported, citing unnamed sources in the country's military and political leadership. And we have these names right here. According to sources, Defense Minister Rustem Umerov is preparing requests to dismiss Medical Forces Commander Tatiana Ostachchenko, Alexander Tarnavsky, the commander of the Tavria group, and Joint Forces Commander Serhiy Nayev. I'm going to show you the pictures because they're right here. The 3 musketeers. She's the medical. This is Serhiy Papapap, and this is the other guy. I can't read it over there, but anyway. Here are the guys. Why are you so upset, baby doll? What's wrong with that hair? Didn't you find a different bowl for you to use? All right, so we got here. They have names here? No. So these are the ones. Tatiana, commander of medical forces. Alexander Taranbababisky. Let's see if we have a face here. Oh, this is just a name. This is more information. And then we got the other one, which was Serhiy Nayev. Now, my friends, the reasons for the dismissal of Tarnavsky, who is in charge of one of the fronts of the Ukraine counteroffensives, were not disclosed. All right, the sources did not name the reasons for Nayev's dismissal either. At the same time, according to the information of Ukrainska Pravda, he may become one of the main persons of interest in the proceedings about the defense of Kherson Oblast in 2022. So that means he's gonna be gone. Yeah, because we fight corruption over there. Got it, my friends? Let's look again at these 3 musketeers right there. Now, between you and I, this guy looks the toughest. He looks like a, what am I doing here? And this guy's like, do I look good? My hair looks good. Yeah, okay, good. The other one was like, I'm gonna give you up. That's this guy right here. He's the real guy. Not these guys, but nevertheless, just an assumption. So my friends, this is what I think it happens. Zelensky is preparing his stab in the back or his Brutus move on Caesar. Why Caesar? Because he's got the weapons. Zelensky has no, that's all he's got actually. Mouth. And the other guys have the guns. So I think these guys are gonna isolate Zaluzhny and eventually they're gonna remove him. That's the whole point. With the weasel now, seems to me, Defense Minister of Ukraine. No more Reznikov. It's okay, they got a Tatar. They had a, and now they have a Tatar. Where are the Ukrainians? Zaluzhny is the Ukrainian. Did you notice? Did you notice this? The Zaluzhny is the Ukrainian. Zelensky, Zhmyhal, Reznikov, Yermak. Now you got the Tatar. All those guys are Ukrainians. And they remove Ukrainians. Well, that's the reality. I mean, it's not my fault because these guys are as where they are. They are in charge of the Ukrainian nation. Those guys. That's reality. That is reality. And I know, because I know some Ukrainians who really, really, really don't like that. That tells me that they know who's who, what's what. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.